Well, welcome everyone to our Essential Toolkit demonstration. We have a wonderful kit of tools that are going to be really, really fun for you to hear about. We're going to be in 7 different homes, and we're going to share with you some Nikken products that are really essential to have. So we're going to get started in Richmond, Virginia with Mary Jazz Mayer.
Well, thanks, Barb. My first tool in my toolkit is the first tool that Nikken developed, which are the insoles. Anybody got some good stories about those?
I do. We had a session and the lady had discomfort. I didn't know it. She demoed the insoles. When she got off, she started crying because she felt so much better. She bought them on the spot and left with my demos.
Love it.
So one of the ways I use my insoles is to put them inside my slippers so that no matter what I'm doing around the house, I'm comfortable and I have the strength, stability, and support of the insoles. They make me the Energizer Bunny.
I'll tell you, Mary Jazz, I don't leave home without these. My insoles, I was at a yard sale, reached over the table to get something, and all of a sudden I was stuck. I couldn't stand up or anything. So I reached down into my shoe, pulled this out, stuck it in my back, right next to in my pants next to my back, and I was able to stand up, do okay, finish the yard sale, but these stay in my shoes.
That's great.
I was in the Navy for 20 years, and I have flat feet. And there was times when we'd be on our feet for long periods of time, and I was in agony. And partway through my career, I found the insoles, and I got a tremendous amount of relief and could be on my feet a lot longer and have more energy.
Love it. Have insoles will travel. Okay. Well, the next tool that we have in my toolkit is called a MagFlex. This is a wonderful support for your back. It's lightweight. It's got 100% magnetic coverage. Who's got a story about the MagFlex?
Well, Barb, when I told you about the yard sale to using the insoles, when the MagFlex came out, oh my gosh, these are in my shoes, and this is right in the small of my back. Takes care of the achiness all the time.
Love it.
So, Mary, I have the same thing. I use the back flex, and I use the insoles in conjunction, because I played 4 years of scholastic basketball. That took a toll on my body. I wear these and I have more flexibility, mobility, and I'm in less discomfort.
Talking about discomfort, I have a dear friend who had female surgery, and when she came to visit us, and I realized how uncomfortable she was, I gave her the MagFlex just to use. It reduced her discomfort almost immediately. She was so happy.
Wow. So I have some, one of the 2 ways that I use the MagFlex, one of which is that I have friends who are going through menstrual period, and they use it on the front or any place that's feeling uncomfortable, and it reduces their symptoms and reduces their discomfort. And then for me, I had a bout of eating some bad food and used the same strategy, put myself on the couch for 15 minutes, and I was able to be up and running again very quickly. So it's in my toolkit, carried in my purse. So the next thing I want to share with you is the sports bottle. This is my next tool in my toolkit. It fits in my giant Harry Potter sized bag. So I keep it with me. Anybody got good stories about these?
I think the most dramatic thing I've seen is a friend of mine on the construction job site. Something really heavy fell down on his hand. He tried to pull out his hand and strip the muscles and part of the skin, all that off. They wrapped his hand in a shop rag, put the Mag water on it, and then found the pieces of finger, wrapped that in there too, got him to the hospital, and this is the difference, saved him.
Wow.
Love it.
I use my water straight from the water bottle because I have it in the bathroom so I can drink, late at night. I just put it on my face. I love the water. And then in the morning, I just put my moisturizer right on top of the water. It's wonderful.
Well, I love the spray bottle when I'm traveling. If I'm traveling for a long period of time, I would just miss my face just like Sandra does, and it perks me right up. But I also like to use this at the airplane. You know, when I'll pull out my sports bottle, put it into this, and I just spray my hands. And you guys, it just gets that moisture back in, and I would notice that tightness would go away. It's wonderful. You know how it's so dry up there.
Gwen, I'm right there with you. I use this sprayer in my eyes because of, during those seasons where you're stuffy and itchy and burning, it helps really good. But I did do an experiment, excuse me, with my dogs. I took them for a walk and I laid out two bowls of water. One was tap and one was Pymek water. I wanted to see which one they would go to. They gravitated to the Pymek water.
They didn't just gravitate to it. I saw the taping that she did. That little dog passed right by the regular water, went straight to the bowl with the Nikken water. So
And you know what else? I use this on my plants in between watering. I just miss them. Very good.
That's great.
The plants
Um,
and animals are smart.
Well, I'm a big water snob, so here it is out in the public. And this water bottle not only saves me filtration-wise, it's better on my body, but it also saves me a ton of money. And whether it's portable or the one in my kitchen, this is great stuff to have.
I'll tell you what else is in my toolkit is this Nikken Therm duct tape, not D-U-C-T, but D-U-K. Stretchy tape, paper on the back. Who's got a story?
Oh, I do. I love the duct tape. You know what? You know how you get really tight through here with that muscle because of the computer's posture? Just take a strip of this, put it over that muscle, gone. Love it.
in my toolkit is the tape in black. At a meeting, a man's foot was truly in discomfort. We put it under the arch, a little up on each side. In moments, he was so happy. And at the end of the meeting, he said he had zero discomfort.
Wow.
You know, when I was earlier this summer, I was helping my daughter move, and I was boxing up all these boxes everywhere. And all I did is I took 2 strips of the kinetic duct tape, and I put it down the back of my spine, and I was able to work with these. This stayed on for 5 days. It's wonderful. You got to keep this in your toolkit.
We even cut little pieces of it about that big. And because of the special ceramic fibers, you can take little pieces, and when you get a bug bite, just put it on the bug bite and it stops the itch.
Wow.
Well, I have the power chip, the Kinko power chip in my tool kit, and this has 3 technologies. It's a tiny chip that produces powerful results. It can be placed in your pocket, pinned to your clothes, or used in conjunction with the wraps. Who has a story?
The power chip made a difference for Al. He just put the power chip right on his chin, on the spot where he had discomfort underneath. And it almost got him in trouble because by the time he went to the dentist, he found that he had a cracked tooth. But it took care of the discomfort.
I love the power chip. I put this with that duct tape. Oh my gosh. I was out in the yard last year and I hit the gate, the edge of it into that muscle. Oh, you know how that hurts. I always carry this in my pocket. I pulled it out of my pocket, put it over that spot, walked into the house, got my piece of duct tape, put the duct tape over it. Realized the next day I went back out, finished the yard work, and I had no puffiness, no soreness, and no bruising. I love this stuff. Carry it with you.
I got a story. I had a coworker who was having a problem with his left side, his hip area, and I noticed that he always he always had his cell phone on that side. So I asked him to take the cell phone off that side, put it on the other side, and I slipped this chip into his pocket. Well, by the end of the day, the discomfort went away, but the discomfort started to affect the side that he had the cell phone on again.
Well, in 2001, I had an ACL reconstruction on my knee from a skiing accident. And when I was, after this, talking to the doctor, told him I didn't want to lose any flexibility. He goes, well, we'll see. Well, I used a power chip in my ACE rep right after the surgery, right away. And I was at day 4 flexibility by day 1. And at the end of the course, when the doctor came to see me, I had lost no range of motion.
Wow, cool.
I want to share about the wraps. Any stories about the wraps?
Oh, I love the wraps. We use them for many things, all those knee wraps, ankle, whatever. But the best story I have is my husband had a reaction to that food flavoring that you get, and he was doing this, and I ran and grabbed that knee wrap, just threw it across his throat. All the reactions stopped.
Wow.
Well, my grandson, he fell off the bicycle, and so he came running in, and I just poured the Pie Mag water over his scrape, and then we bandaged it up, and then I took the wrap and I placed it over it on his arm, and no kidding, he said that the stinging went away, and that he went out and played afterwards with the wrap. Wasn't going to stop him.
One night when I was having, that seasonal stuffiness and all that mess that you get, I was coughing so bad I couldn't get to sleep. So I grabbed the knee wrap and put it right around my neck, went right back to sleep. Loved it.
Perfect.
It helped me get to sleep the night that I had spilled boiling water on one foot. By the time I went to bed, I wasn't hopping anymore. The next morning, there was no bubbling of my skin, no discoloration. I was walking fine. It was amazing.
Wow. Well, in my toolkit, let me see. In my toolkit, we're having power bands, and they come in a necklace or a wrist, in a wristband. Does anyone have a story they'd like to share about these?
Sandra, did you have a wristband story?
I do. I love my wristbands, and I'm able to use them for that discomfort that you can have in the wrist from repetitive motions. It works.
I had a Weimaraner, big dog, and he suffered from what big dogs suffer with their hips. And so what I did was I took the power band and I put it around his neck, and it sat right on his spine, and it helped him with his mobility and stability as well. He was not in any discomfort at all. He lasted for a good while.
Wow, and I have to add, my little dog right now has 2 of the wristbands because she's small put together, and it makes a great neck band for her. She loves it. And then the other thing that I love about these, the neck band especially, you know how people get that stuffiness during a certain season? Put this on, pretty much takes care of it. Love these things.
Well, I was out helping my brother out in Pittsburgh put up a ceiling, and we were working all day up and down the ladder. And by the end of the day, my ankle was killing me. So I took this power band off my neck, wrapped it twice around my ankle, and the next day it was no discomfort, was able to go back to work.
Well, I'll tell you, what I keep in my toolbox is this little tool in plastic case, but it's got 2 magnetic balls. It can roll or it can stay static. A lot of technologies in here. Who's got a story? While you're telling them, I'm just going to roll it around.
Oh, I like that idea. I think I'll do this.
Yeah, right.
Actually, this gadget is unbelievable. Everyone needs it in their toolkit. I had somebody laying a floor about a month ago for me, and because he was down on his shoulder doing some work, when he finished, he was very, very uncomfortable. I just took and rolled this over his shoulder for about 5 minutes. He could tell a difference right away.
We had a young person who was happy to say there was nothing at all irregular about her body, but when we used that Mag Duo and just rolled it across her shoulders and the back where she was stressed because she was on the computer a lot, her whole posture showed that she felt serious relief. And she said, oh, I feel so much better.
Well, my father was hospitalized, and the results of his condition left him immobilized on his right side. So for 3 consecutive days, I rubbed him up and down on his right side. And on the third day, he rose. Oh, wait a minute. That's the story. The other great story that happened was my father regained his eye, hand, mouth coordination and was able to feed himself. It was short of a miracle.
Wonderful.
When I first started, magnetic balls were one of the first products I had, and everybody was hurting. I'd work on them. I was amazed with the results. And my brother was out visiting me from Pittsburgh this time, and really well. And so the next morning when he woke up, he goes, "Where's those magnets at?" Because he was hurting. And he used it again. It worked again. He said, he wrote me a check. They were the only ones I had because he wanted to have them for the ride home to Pittsburgh because his back was hurting.
But so Sandra, do you have something else in your toolkit?
I do. It's called CM Cream and Joint. Any stories?
Okay, what I love about that cream is you take a little dab of that, put it on your fingers. You know how people have that discomfort through the head? Just rub it on the temples, gone. Great stuff.
I didn't know where the temples was. Where the dimples were. I told somebody just put it up here. It worked there too.
We'll give you an anatomy lesson later.
I can tell you when I'm driving on I-81, any interstate, I've got, oh yeah, the steering wheel, but I've got this right nearby because putting some of this cream, it's wonderful right here where all the stress collects, and then I'm ready for the crazy drivers.
Well, my dad had joint issues, and he had been taking something else, and so I let him try the pill form a joint, and he said in 4 days he noticed his joints were more loose. And I said, "How long were you taking the other stuff?" He goes, "For years." So in 4 days, that product did what took years and still didn't work.
So what's neat is the main ingredient in that cream is in that joint pill. So that's what's so cool.
When Al feels more discomfort in the hip, he just pops another 1 or 2 of these. So this externally, this internally, excellent, excellent.
So Don, what else do you have in your toolkit?
I have the Keiko Touch. It's a pulsating magnetic field. Who has a story?
Oh, I do. I was just last week with a friend, and while we were talking, she just kept coughing, like a ticklish cough. I handed this to her, turned it on. This is a pulse magnetic field. It'll go all the way through. You don't even have to touch. We held it there within less than a minute. Coughing stopped.
My son plays goalie on the hockey team, and at 28, he had to have hip surgery. And so after the surgery, he used this to get better. And in half the time, it was wonderful.
A number of people have found relief with elbows, shoulder, and knees when there's been discomfort. And you see the facial expression just get so much smoother. I mean, you can tell it works.
Well, when it first came out, I was at the launch and I tried it, and within seconds it helped my shoulder. And so I had a coworker just recently, and I let her try it for her shoulder, and she said, "I'm about ready to cry," because she had been having trouble with this for a long period of time, and it worked really fast within like a minute or two. It hasn't come back.
Great.
So Carol, what do you have in your toolkit?
Well, in my toolkit, rather on my chair, I have the Kinko seat. The Kinko seat has Dynaflux technology, and this item is more versatile than you think. Who has a story?
Ooh, I do. So when I travel, I love to pack this up with me. And I just happened to notice that when I flew into Colorado, I noticed that the room was spinning. My head was I was so dizzy. And as soon as we landed, I went and grabbed this Kinko seat and I sat on it as much as possible and slept on it too. And of course had insoles on, but it dissipates so immediately with me when I had this Kinko seat with me. I love traveling with this. I won't leave home without it.
It is extremely versatile, and we've enjoyed on trips putting it under the bottom fitted sheet and sleep on it. Wow, your sleep is much deeper, you're more rested. Marvelous.
I'll tell you, flying on the airplane with the Kinko seat, you can carry it on as a personal item and carry on your water bottle. And between the two, I don't get that laggy thing, even flying across the country.
Well, I had a customer who was a truck driver, and he used the Kinko seat and expressed to me that he didn't feel as stressed and tired after driving the 18-wheeler across the states.
Yes, it is so awesome for your cars, for your trucks, whatever. But as Mary and Sandra mentioned, when you're traveling, and Gwen, you not only have it to sit in, you can sleep on it. So it's a very, very flexible tool to have. So we're going to go Gwen for our last product.
Right. Well, I love in my toolkit, I have the grounding pad, and it's just a great way to connect. Does anyone have a story they'd like to share?
I do. And I'm not the only person who has reported that these veins in the legs that seem to be purplish and bluish, reddish, are diminishing, and it's because I'm sleeping on the grounding pad. Plus, I have the grounding pad on the floor right under my feet, even now.
Wow. Well, I think just like she said, put it in bed with you at night, and people are finding that their sleep is so much better. Basically, what the grounding pad's doing is just hooking you to the earth. We're grounding ourselves to the earth, but in situations where people are having trouble sleeping, add that to your little armament and you'll see a difference.
Well, this is a really key part of my travel kit for myself and my clients as a holistic healer. I get to use it when I go on the road and when they come to see me, and it fits in my Harry Potter bag. So
I used the grounding pad to help me get synchronized with Mother Earth when flying back and forth from the East Coast to the West Coast. It helped me with my jet lag.
I love to use this when I have a lot of grandkids, and so when there's 7 of them, and when they all get together, let me tell you, they can get really rambunctious. So I pull this out, and I'll just ask them to lay their hands on it, and no kidding, we notice a difference within minutes. It has this great calming effect, and the 2-year-old, she puts her whole body on it. She loves the effect of it. Great thing to have.
Wow, what if you could not only calm the kids, but maybe a few adults?
Mm.
And you can travel with it and have that and you're connecting, as Carol said, to Mother Earth. Awesome. Well, thank you all. You've done a wonderful job. This is a great team that we've had fun tonight, and I hope that you will check out these products because you really need to have these tools in your home for you and your family. Take care.